Hmm. Hello, hello. Just a moment, guys. Just going to set things up. Okay, how's everyone doing? Oh, do not want that music in because I will get demonetized again, or I'll get them videos flagged. Uh, hey CB, how's it going? Hello and good morning, afternoon, etc. Yes, the afternoon here. It's about 4 o'clock. So yeah, I thought I'd rather. I haven't been able to do many videos recently. I've been really busy and just trying to do some other stuff because just I think I kind of burn out if I do games too much. So just see if I can reposition my microphone in a better place. Yeah, so I'm kind of curious to say hello to you all and to see how you're all doing. And I was trying to record a channel update video the other day, and I must have started it like 10-15 times and then realized I'm just going to do a live stream because that way I can kind of get more feedback and sort of talk about stuff that's going on. But anyway, I thought I'd have a look at Kingdom Dungeon and Hero as well. This is the hot game at the minute, and yeah, this is going to be coming out fairly soon. I believe it's going to be 1st of July, if I understand it right. And the game's in a pretty good place, as you might expect. I mean, we're on to version 1.07, and the developers like constantly tweaking it and doing stuff to it in response to feedback from the beta testers. There's not very many of us. So I think it's going to be one of those games where once Kingdom Dungeon Hero comes out, there's going to be a whole bunch of, there's probably going to be a whole bunch of issues found, I expect. Just as more people test it, because the testing pool is kind of small. That said, I think it's going to be really, really, I think people are really going to like it. I'm taking a look at I might have a look at the Isle of Nemora, just so we can just have a quick look. And yeah, who shall I play? Who are these guys? Everlight. Yeah, let's play Everlight and just see how we go. So I'm actually going to give the AI a bit of a bonus. And then we'll keep it. Yeah, we'll just have a look at it. Agree Falls saying hot, very hot last couple of days. Yeah, I don't know where you are, but at least in where I am in sort of South Scotland, the summer has been really, really cold recently. And it's been the coldest summer I've ever known in the UK, at least where I am. It's just been like cold, overcast, raining loads. And yeah, I've been like wearing jumpers. In fact, 3 weeks ago, I was wearing thermal underwear. It's that cold. And so it's been really, really weird. But it has started to heat up now, and I'm actually quite warm under these lights. So, okay. So yeah, this is Kingdom Dungeon and Hero. I'm really loving this game. I think it's really, really good. Let's just have a look. So we're playing as Everlight here. Now I think this map's going to be really cool for multiplayer games because you basically get like 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7 kind of big factions basically. So I think this is going to be really good for multiplayer. Let's just have a look what's going on here. So just go through, let's just put some research up. CB saying, I tried the Kingdom Dungeon Hero demo, but saving seemed disabled, so I couldn't play it effectively across stage. Yeah, he disabled both the AI and the save. I think the demo really was just for people to get a bit of a look at it and just to see, whether it looked like their kind of thing or not. All right. What are we going to do then? Well, we've got West Haven here. This is our capital by the looks of it. Let's just jump into the districts and just have a look at all of these. So this is our main metropolis. We start with the barracks there. We've got Wolf Throat. This is a hamlet. Another hamlet. We've got another hamlet. Asmar's another hamlet. Okay, so we've got a bunch of hamlets and a town. So you start with a metropolis and a town, and then a bunch of hamlets. So, and I'm guessing only West Haven will start with the barracks. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. So we're on the coast here as well, which kind of gives us options. I think everybody except Runeweave Circle here in the center are going to have a port and access to the sea. So yeah, so what is this? This game's like it's a fantasy strategy game. It looks like a 4X, but it's not. So don't buy this thinking it's a 4X game. It does not have random maps quite. You can make your own maps, and there is a randomized element to it, but it's not really a. It's not like it's not a 4X. It's not like, you know, you have this infinite scaling resource generation, you know, that's bounded only by your territory, and you build up an empire. There's some kind of economic simulation where you're trying to kind of min-max that until you're big enough to defeat your enemies. It doesn't really work like that. It's the static scenarios with programmed AI, with programmed AI reactions. And the AI is getting really good in this game. It's more like a war game, I guess, but it's also not a war game really, because war games tend to be just kind of, you know, playing out. It's closer to a war game than it is to a 4X, I'd say. Let's get some. By the way, I'm probably not going to play this the entire time. I just wanted to have a quick look at it because there's been a few updates, and yeah, I'm curious to see what's going on with the updates. Let's get some harvesters in here. What do we got? Okay, we get a lot of wood. Okay, we get a lot of production on this map. That's interesting. So where is all that coming from? Yeah, I think basically you've got a lot of hamlets. So your income on this game is probably as big, if not bigger, than anything on the Realm of Erde map. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, let's get some heroes. We've got a sorcerer, a holy warrior, and a cleric. They're perfect, excellent. And we start with a bunch of gold too. Let's have a look what our food production is like. Now we're in the month of winter, yeah, so we probably don't want to be selling any food. Now we did lose some due to lack of storage, but that was in the last turn. We had nothing to do with that. Total surplus of food is 44 for next month. Okay, so yeah, we can sell some. Let's sell 10 food. I'm not sure how much we're going to create. Now, depending on where you are on the map, you're going to be affected in different ways by the weather. Yeah, it looks like we only got affected by the weather in the north, look. So the areas in the south are still going to be producing food. So I think we can probably sell some more. I'm going to risk selling another 10. Got a whole bunch of gold. And that means that we can probably get some troops up early. And I think you probably want to do that. Now, one of the changes that's been made to Kingdom Dungeon and Hero recently, by the way, I'm going to put these sound effects back on. One of the changes that's been made to Kingdom Dungeon and Hero is that we've had an introduction of some militia. Now, militia, they were a unit type in the game before. They've now been what were called militia are now called levies. Okay, so levies are like basic unskilled military that are cheap to create. However, you've also got militia as well, and the militia, basically, these are cheap to build, and the AI likes to build them now. And the reason that is in the game is because it makes it easier for the AI to defend its nation. Also easier for you as well. So you can put these cheap, low strength units up. Look, if you see these guys, they're only strength 4. They cost 8 gold and 4 wood. So they're really, really cheap. And you can bang these guys out. So you can get like 1, 2, 3, 4. We could get 4 of those militia up, and we could put them into our smaller towns, and we've immediately got little guards basically that can just stop, you know, single horse units just coming in and taking your towns, which I think is basically what it's for. So yeah, that's one change that's come in the recent build. Lots of feedback is coming in now from some of the other beta testers. It's been a little bit quiet. But yes, I'm curious. I'm really, really curious to see how well this one does. There's a lot of interest in Kingdom Dungeon and Hero I'm seeing in the game, like over on Steam, and it's got a lot of wish lists as well, apparently. So that's really, really good news. I think what we're going to do is let's see if we can. What do we got here? We got Starry Night. Okay, that's going to be hard to take. We've got Grindon here. That might be easier. Let's just have a look at what's going on with the diplomacy with these places. So they're at peace with us. Just close this a sec. So we are Everlight. We've got Starenhouse here. We're also bordering Two Bears House. And we are bordering... Oh, well, we're also bordering Lionheart here. And then we've got East Kurtman in the north. And Quartos. And then we've got the Grey Flame. Okay. So we've got loads of smaller factions around us. We probably want to have a look at these and just see what they've all got. Okay, so this is going to be mining. This is like a mining city by the looks of it. Wolf's Rain. A part of Silverbank. Yeah, I think what we do is we're not going to go to war with anyone immediately. I don't think we really need to do that. Let's just see what everyone else does. So we're going to spend a few turns just kind of building up. We've got no wood. We could buy some wood. And... maybe we save this. Yeah, we'll get some more wood next turn. We'll maybe get some spearmen or some men-at-arms or something. Probably, most likely spearmen. So we've got 3 heroes here. See what these guys are like. Okay, we've got a sorcerer. We've got a holy warrior and a cleric. That's a good mix for the start of the game, I'd say. We've got one with leadership 9. That's pretty good. Yeah, so Jyoti here. Which is a man's name, I understand, but there we go. She's got here's Jyoti. She's got leadership 9, so she'd actually be really, really good heading up our army here. We've got some armored knights, 2 swordsmen, 2 archers, and some levies. That would be a reasonable force to go on the rampage early in the game. We would have to go and check out what these guys have got. Now, I don't think your heroes are able to scout enemy positions, no. And I like that as well. That would make the game a little bit too easy, in my opinion. Let's gather some rumours here. Okay. Let's gather some rumours here too. Okay, that's a little bit closer look. Okay, that was a false rumour. Next turn we'll get some more. We're going to end the turn. This is a 120 turn scenario. You could probably play this one really fast, I think. Really quickly. Okay, so 43 food was produced. We've got a total food surplus of 36. Okay, look, yeah, our stance is falling with everybody. We didn't bother with any diplomacy. You probably want to do diplomacy on a small map like this, I would say. Now, we've got a whole bunch of militia to bump down, so let's get these guys down. Yeah, we've got pirates here, so we want to guard our coastal towns, because the pirates like to attack you in the coast. There we go. We need one more of those militia units, so we'll build one more of those guys. And then we'll put one up here in Kenlogin. Okay, let's get some more heroes, if we can afford them. We've got a warrior with tactician, that's nice. We've got another cleric, and we've got a Magnus wizard. Okay, that looks like a decent little group. Yeah, he's an administrator. And then we've got a tactician. He's only got leadership 7, but the tactician gives a bonus in combat as well. Whether that's going to be better than a level 9 leader, I don't know. Like I'd have to read the manual again and figure out exactly what all those things did. Let's just go and check out this rumour here. Okay, that was a false rumour as well. Okay, didn't manage to gather any more rumours here. Get these guys doing the same. Now, if you really want to kind of go hard into the heroes, man, this game is really, really good fun. So the dungeon crawling part of this game is really, really good. It's like a mini CRPG, like wizardry style blobber style CRPG. I think it's great. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, that's going to be about it. We've got some gold left. We've got a lot of wood. This map's interesting because you get a lot of resources. So now the curious thing about this game, one of the many curious things about this game, is that the victory points are basically based around your stability. So there's no real incentive just to go and map paint if you want to win the game. I mean, you will get more victory points basically. I forget exactly how that worked out, but up to a point, you will get more victory points, but then you start getting diminishing returns on it, and because you're going to be at war, and war reduces stability, and stability reduces your victory points. So, providing you survive to the end of the game, that's the best option that you have for winning. Now, obviously, one way that you are going to win is by preventing other people from generating victory points. So that's why you want to be going to war with other people. Also, taking territory to get resources is also a good idea. So this is not just a map painting game. In fact, if you try to play it like a map painting game, you're probably not going to do very well because it's not that easy. Although I think, you know, min-maxers are going to find ways to do it, especially on the easier difficulty settings. But after a point, after you've taken a certain amount of the proportion of the map, the AI will start declaring war on you, like everybody, because they realize that you're going to win. So they're like, okay, well, we can't have you winning. We're going to attack you. So yeah. All right. Let's end the turn here. How's everyone doing in chat, by the way? How are you feeling about Kingdom Dungeon Hero? Are you interested in this game at all? I'm curious to hear what you think. Okay. We've got 40 food for next month. Let's just have a look at the weather. Yeah, okay, so we're more into the winter now. As you see, the seasons kind of change. We've got some diplomacy coming in. These guys, what do they want? All right, they're offering peace. This is the Grey Flame. That's here. Yeah, they're offering peace. I don't want peace with anybody that I might potentially want to invade, because that's not a good idea. Because a peace treaty basically makes it harder for you to declare war on them. Okay. Sorry, we've got some ads running, so I'm just going to wait. That's new. I didn't know that it will actually show you if it's showing ads. Well, I tried to reduce the amount of ads that it shows as well. Because when I'm doing a live stream, I don't really care about that stuff. Okay, looks like we're back. So let's accept trade. Star and House. Yeah, these guys are all offering peace early. This is a new feature. They didn't do that before. Let's accept trade. We're going to accept all the trade agreements that we can. Maybe our first mission would be to... Maybe we move into here, Leonis here, and we'll take this. That might be my first conquest that I would do if I was playing this. Let's just have a look. Let's just go and check out Leonis. If you just click on... There we are. This is part of Lionheart. Okay, we've got an emissary here already. Yeah, let's instigate with those guys. But that's going to drop our stability. It's going to drop theirs too. And then I'm going to start thinking about moving some forces down that way. Let's just leave these levies here. No, actually, I'll bring these guys down. We have got a militia. We'll put the militia up here. In which case, we probably want to build some more troops. Now, we need 2 wood in order to get some archers. Alternatively, we could get 2 swordsmen. Agree for saying levy spam for win. Yeah, I don't know if you can do that. The levy's really not very good. I mean, it's worth a try. I'm sure someone will figure it out. CB saying mixed, has some cool ideas, but is missing most of the map explore and discovery parts, which is probably why you're not calling it a 4X. Yeah, it's not a 4X game. It's more like a war game, like a diplomacy and, you know, kind of a diplomatic war game. Yeah, it's kind of, think Game of Thrones, but you know, kind of less complex in that respect than something like that, than that kind of idea. But it's kind of loosely based on Game of Thrones. Let's move these heroes. Let's see if we can gather some more rumours. Okay, there we are. We found something. Let's just enter this dungeon. Okay, that's a hard dungeon. So we're going to leave that one. We're going to get killed just if we try to look at that one. Yeah, I think where's those other heroes? There they are. I'm just going to gather a bunch of rumours, I think, this turn. See what we can find. We've got another 2 here. Sorry, we've got 1 here as well. Okay, that's a false rumour. We'll bring these guys back down to somewhere in the same relative region that we've got. Gary Oak, can the levies be upgrade to regulars? No, I don't think so. The idea of them is that they are deliberately not meant to be very strong. They are there to, you know, as a cheap unit that you can spam out and defend all your territory with some basic units. They are cheap. They don't have much upkeep, I don't think. Yeah, they've got one stipend, and they don't take any rations. So they're not going to affect you food-wise. So they're basically there. The reason why they've been added is because it makes it so that the computer opponent can defend better, basically. Also, the humans you'll be able to defend better as well. But it just makes it so that it's a little bit less easy just to roll up with, you know, just to buy a load of horses, build a load of cavalry, like cheap cavalry, and then go and take, like, you know, six towns off your opponent in the first few turns. Which was a bit of an exploit that I discovered, and then one of the other testers has been doing as well. Okay, so yeah, let's end the turn and roll it on. These shorter scenarios are going to be really good fun. CB saying, is the downside to diplomacy, trade and research that you're pulling all of your partners up in points with you? Yes. So that's one issue. The other issue is that, yeah, you're going to be raising your relations. So if you do want to go to war with them, then you've got to reduce that first. I still think this game's going to require a little bit more balancing, you know, in terms of getting certain game mechanics right. I think that it's about there right now, but when this goes out to the public, I'm sure that there's going to be a bunch of stuff that people find when there's just way more people playing it. But yeah, I'm excited to see what people come up with. Okay, that was a false rumor as well. Okay, we've got another one this way. Not had much luck with the adventures yet. Got 32 gold left. We got any more heroes? Yeah, we got an administrator here. Let's recruit this administrator. Yeah, 20% to gold. I think we're going to have him governing here. So Silfas is now governor of West Haven, my lord. Okay. Now Leonis here. This place is going to be difficult to take, I reckon. Oh, it's got no fortifications. That's interesting. Oh, I hadn't even seen that. So that was a good option for me. I think in that case we're going to bring these swordsmen. We're going to bring these swordsmen up. Yeah, it would be good to get the lead. I can't remember which one it was. Was it Jotty? Yeah, Jotty here had leadership 9. I might bring her down and make her the leader of this army, and then send that army in to take Leonis here. Yeah, we're going to be 15 stability if we go to war here. We'll wait until next turn, I think, for that. I do want to sell some food this turn. Okay, we don't have enough recruits here, so it's, buying another unit is going to cost us it doubles your gold cost basically because you're buying you're having to recruit mercenaries. We could also get some basic militia up here just to let's get those guys in, and then we'll put those in. Ken log in. We probably need some more for Agmar as well. Yeah, that looks good. CB saying, in the demo big map, not the 12-turn intro, it was really hard to lower a relation. I would insult and then it would go back up on the computer's turn. Yeah, I mean, it naturally kind of gravitates towards a certain area, but there's things that will raise and lower it as well. There's certain different conditions that will raise or lower it, so depending on whether you've got emissaries there. And the emissaries can help or hinder. Okay, let's see what these guys... they want peace. I don't want peace with them. Let's accept trade, though. We'll accept trade with those guys, too. Okay, and the turn. Yeah, I think there's going to be... like I say, there's probably going to be little bits and pieces that need balancing as the... You know, once the game is released, more people are playing it. Hello to everybody who's just joined, by the way. Come and say hello in the chat and let me know how you're doing. We're playing Kingdom Dungeon and Hero. This game is this game releases on June the 1st, I think, or July the 1st, and yeah, it's gonna be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, let's have a look at getting some recruits. Oh, okay, we've also got the swordsmen here. Let's bring those guys down. Okay, we need one more militia. What do we want? These spearmen are good. The thing about spearmen, they perform well against cavalry because they've got this they're a lancer. The thing is, they're not so good in sieges. Let's sell some food and we'll get some swordsmen here, and then we'll get more swordsmen up. So cavalry, the way that cavalry works, interesting. Having like the presence of cavalry strongly affects combat outcomes in several stages of combat. So if you've got cavalry support, you really want cavalry support in every army if you can. It's really, really, really important. Let's just get these levies. There we go, and we'll have a proper stack of troops here. Now, we really want more cavalry if we can get them. Okay, that's looking good for now. We've got another alchemist that we can research. Get these into formations. I want to get that morale increase as quickly as possible. And yeah, let's just go into Lionheart here. We're going to instigate. Okay, yeah, this is about as low as we've got. So we've got to drop our stability. Sorry, we've got to go to war now. So go to war. Okay, it'll be a glorious battle against Lionheart. Let's get in there. So I want to bring Jyoti down now. She's going to actually lead this force. I think I also need to bring in. Yeah, I need to bring in some troops to guard. There we go. Look, I don't want these guys coming in this way, so I want to block them off. Okay, and let's see what they've got in there. They've got 10 levies, 10 swordsmen, 10 swordsmen. Okay, and they don't have any fortifications. I think we're going to do okay here. It is a siege, so the way that the combat modifiers work are a little bit different to, a plain field battle. But let's go for it anyway. Okay, 3 were lost on both sides. We lost a bunch of knights there. Okay, that was quite brutal, but we did manage to push them out in one turn, so that's good. So here we go. So that is those guys. We've taken that in one turn. That's really, really good news. So we've already taken Lionheart. Let's get these levies moving back in here. Yeah, because we just took that with the armored knights. They were the only ones who had some movement points left. I think I might actually move the swordsman in too. Okay, so we might not even need Jyoti here. Okay, there's a low-level dungeon for us. Andon Castle. A deserted castle rested in rocky hills. Its occupants left as water was a scarce resource for the area and difficult to transport from a distance. The parapets were forged with iron and stone from the mines below its foundation. This is really, really cool stuff, man. I really like this. So these guys are going to be gathering for this battle. I'm also going to see if we've got another hero. Yes, we do. Ah. He'd be really, really good as a leader. We've also got a woodsman and another wizard, a Magnus wizard. Let's get that guy and we'll bring him in. Okay, yeah, we'll have to wait till next turn to investigate this dungeon, but that's going to be cool. So what have we got? We've got a sorcerer and a Magnus wizard. We've got 2 clerics. Oh, we've got 3 Magnus wizards. Okay, that's too many. I don't need that many Magnus wizards, so let's have a look at Quintus here. He's actually got good leadership, look. Melee power 6, magic power 7. It's actually really good, he is. Let's have a look at Galdor. It's kind of similar. Yeah, they've both got the same skill set. But Quintus is better in melee. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, so maybe with Galdor, I actually bring him. I'll just continue searching with him, and we'll bring in another hero as well. Yeah, I can get another one. So let's get the woodsman. Now we're a little bit low in melee power, I'd say here. We've only got one like dedicated warrior, but we have got a bunch of clerics. And these guys aren't too shabby, especially if they've got high melee like this. Yeah, this guy's really good as well. This will be an interesting group, actually. So that's going to be that for the turn. Yeah, looking good. Let's end the turn. So there you go. You see, we've conquered Lionheart. All right. Oh, we lost some food. Okay, so I should have... We're actually making lots and lots of food at the moment. Let's sell a bunch of food. We've got some militia to bring down. Put the militia there. We've got some swordsmen incoming, but we can't build them anywhere except where we've got a barracks, which is going to be West Haven for now. What's in Leonis? Leonis doesn't have anything. So we're going to start getting bureaucratic corruption. Once you start getting more than a certain amount of towns, you have to start building council halls to counteract the corruption. This is why, again, it's not a map painting game, really. I mean, you can do, but it's hard. If you want to map paint, then you're not going to be going higher into some of the other aspects of the game, particularly in production. So, yeah, and you're probably going to have less stability. I think probably what we want to... Maybe we want to build a temple wouldn't be a terrible idea here. Increase the stability of a location population up to a total of 20%. It's 1 gold upkeep. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. We've also got the market, which gives you more chance to generate gold. And +1 food, upkeep 1 gold. Yeah, that's also good. But I think we'll go for stability first. So let's build a temple. We'll probably build a couple of buildings in here. West Haven, we can probably build some stuff too. Okay, stone is what we're lacking now. Or wood for a market here. Now, a market here wouldn't be a bad idea either. I think let's sell some shards. Okay. And then I'll get myself a market here too, I think. Alright. Now, Galdor here was... Yeah, he's got really high leadership, so Galdor might be a good guy to lead an army. We've also got Jyoti as well. Yeah, maybe I'll bring her down here. So let's get her leading the army here. Right, these levies are going to stay there. We'll just move those out. Okay, now this army's fully... yeah, we've got six units in there. Just reinforce his armored knights. Okay, yeah, we move these guys, so we can't reinforce them. Now, what would our next move be, I wonder? We probably wait for our stability to raise up a little bit, because otherwise we're going to be dropping down in the victory table. Actually, we've actually got 71 victory points here at the moment. Now, I'm still not exactly sure what it is that causes the victory points. Like I was told that you don't get victory points for conquering places, but I can't figure out why it is that if that's the case, why am I getting victory points here? Now, unless you've actually got one of the achievements. No, we haven't achieved any achievements. So, yeah, there must be something. It might be the population. I'm going to have to ask the developer there. I'm pretty sure I asked him before, actually, but I can't remember what it was that he said. Let's get into this dungeon and do some exploring. I'm not going to use the auto explore here. So let's do some exploring. Gated passage, an uneasy tunnel. Here's a corrupt vault. Let's search this place. Okay, we didn't find anything here. I'm going to go back down. This is a wide hall. Here we are. So, we found some spawns. There's 38 spawns to kill in this dungeon, so it's going to be a multiple turn dungeon. We've got a Viscos Lurker, a Velox Beast, and 2 Animal Deformities. These ones I don't think are that strong. No, they're not bad. Yeah, these things have actually got... They've got reasonable armor, look. That one's quite strong. Okay. We got loads of healing. Let's just attack it with our basic attacks, just for a round and see what happens. Okay, we did really badly there, and we got attacked. Let's try again. I might put... What are their magic defense like? Yeah, not very good. Let's get one of these guys on Spellbind. I'll put these 2 on Spellbind, see if we can incapacitate some of them. Oh, that was a big hit. This guy's in trouble. Okay, so we need to heal. We need to heal him up. So let's get one of these guys and heal. There we go. So we healed up the sorcerer. Yeah, we're not doing too much damage in return here. This is quite a tough dungeon because oh, there we go. Okay, we'd actually get a hit in there. Continue. Yeah, we're taking a lot of punishment. I think part of the issue is that we don't have the highest defense. Yeah, I'm going to take him off. Yeah, we haven't got anyone critically wounded, so I'm going to get him on attack. Yeah. Okay, we did manage to spellbind one this time, so that actually worked. Just not doing much damage. I might get these guys on magic attack instead of bind. Oh, okay. So we've lost one of our heroes already. Well, that's what happens in Kingdom Dungeon of Hero. These guys are a little bit squishy at the start of the game. We did find some shards though. Okay, that was a big magic attack we did with a big critical hit. So that was kind of lucky. Let's get one of our clerics doing some healing. In fact, we'll both heal. And hopefully we don't lose our sorcerer here. Okay, they were avoiding our attacks there. Let's get him on Slay. Oh, another hit. Yeah, we're running out of heals here. So we're not going to get far into this dungeon this time around. The dungeons seem a lot harder, actually. Okay, we're nearly killed all of these spawns. So let's put these guys on... For magic attack. Let's put him on magic attack. We'll put him on melee attack. There we go. Okay. CB is saying, I think the VP gen is mentioned in the manual or the in-game info. Yeah, it does, but I'm pretty sure, like, when I talked to the developer, he was like, yeah, it's basically stability, but there's got to be some other element to it as well, because otherwise I can't figure out what it is. I think we're going to be lucky to get much further in this dungeon this time around. Okay. Let's have a look at this thing. Okay, that's pretty strong. It's got a lot of hit points. I'm going to retreat from that. Okay, we can't, so we're going to have to fight. So let's fight for a turn. Okay, we did quite a lot of damage to that thing. We don't have any heals, so we're just going to have to keep fighting. No damage there on that rumper. Yeah, let's just keep fighting. Okay, we got bashed, which incapacitates him for the turn. Yeah. Okay, we're getting a little. This is where we got to start running away, I think. Okay, we can't retreat. In that case, we're going to put these wounded troops on evasion, and I might put the warrior on block. So he's going to draw the hits in. Now they do, when they're on block, they still get to attack. They just don't have such a high chance of attacking. Let's try and retreat again. Okay, I'm going to have to keep going. Okay, we're still cornered. Let's bring him back on. Let's have him on Slay. Okay, we've lost the Magus. Magus Wizard. Let's try and retreat. Okay, we managed to retreat. Let's just search here before we leave. Okay, there's nothing here. So we actually lost 2 heroes there. So not ideal. We're going to have to recruit a couple of heroes to replace those guys. Let's have a look what we got. Yeah, these guys want to trade with us. That's it. Okay. That's about it, I think. Yeah, we haven't got much money. We can't really trade, so let's just end the turn. So yeah, like I wasn't really intending to play Kingdom Dungeon Hero today, by the way. I just wanted to kind of talk, really. And so, I'm sorry that there hasn't been that many videos for the channel recently. As always, it's a little bit of work being busy and me having a lot to do. And then just kind of trying to do some other stuff in my spare time, because I found that if I play games all the time, it's not good for me just to play games all the time. And I'm quite lucky in the sense that my missus is quite self-contained and she really likes what I do with the YouTube channel. She's super supportive. So I get loads of time to do this stuff if I want. But I've needed a little bit of a break from just playing video games constantly. And like I found that I'm in a bit of a dilemma, right? Because I want to do more kind of scripted stuff for the channel, I guess, where I'm talking about video games or where I'm, doing reviews and that kind of stuff. The problem is, and this is something I should have known when I had this harebrained idea, was that this is what I do all day at work, right? I'm either making videos or I'm doing something related to games, kind of interacting with people in the games development thing. So I don't always have the motivation basically to do scripted videos and video clipping and writing scripts when I've been doing that all day. And the other thing is, it's really important that I keep enthusiastic about that for work, because I love my job. My job's really good. I've got like a really good job, and I don't want to be kind of being at work kind of going, oh, more video editing. Do you know what I mean? So I've started working on a review for a game called Scald. Actually, I might show Scald off now. Scald's really good. But yeah, the issue is that it's kind of getting the time, energy, and motivation to do more video editing and script writing when I've already been doing it all day. It's not that easy. So because I was getting quite close to burning out, and so I've had to have a little bit of a break. The last week or so, I've really not been doing that much in way. In fact, I've not played any games in about 10 days, apart from kind of retro game stuff, and that was. Let me just save this, actually. What's this map called again? Oh, well, whatever. Oh, Isle of Nemora. There we go. So let's just save new. Yeah, let's just come out of this. So, there we go. Now, you're probably just going to get a background screen. There we are. So, yeah. I've mostly just been I've been doing some programming again and getting back into my programming, because this is something I don't talk about a lot, but I am a programmer. I went to uni and I did like the best part of a computer science degree, a good uni. So I've got a good education in programming and mathematics and stuff. And it's been ages since I've done any programming for pleasure. And so, oh, Omar, how's it going, man? He said, been there before, man. I spent the last few weeks catching up on shows. Helps reset the mind from gaming a bit. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't want to play games all the time, and even though I have got more time that I think than a lot of people for doing that if I want to, because I've got such a cool missus who's quite happy for me to do that. She likes gaming as well. But I find that if I do that, I just sort of stagnate a little bit. And so one of the ways of getting around that feeling was to do endless Let's Plays. The problem is with the endless Let's Plays is that I kind of get a little bit, what's the word? I'll get a little bit tired of it. And not only like getting tired of the endless Let's Plays, but it's like I end up taking on series that people get disappointed if they don't get finished. God, this big camera is way too intense, isn't it? Let me turn that off. I was like, that might look cool. No, it looks awful. Let me just go back to the live stream cam. Yeah, so yeah, like So I'm in a bit of a bind because it's like I want to do more scripted videos and I want to do more stuff that like people are going to watch after the first 3 episodes, because like I love my community and I've got really cool community, but it's only a very hardcore group of like 200-300 people are still watching, 50 turns into a long Shadow Empire series. And I want to make stuff that's kind of a bit more appropriate for everybody, because I've got like 6,000 people nearly watching who, on my 6,000 subscribers. So I know that there's a whole lot of people who don't really engage with a lot of my videos past the first sort of 2 or 3, maybe the first hour or 2 of them. And that's understandable. It's like people want to come in, they like to watch. They like to watch the video, see if it's their kind of game, see what I think about it. Other people are watching it more as a sort of tutorial. So they'll come in and watch maybe the first 5 or 6 episodes. They kind of get the idea of the game and they're like, okay, cool, done. But most people are checked out by episode 6 or 7. So like I want to keep doing Let's Plays as and when I get the energy to do it, but I don't want to just be... I kind of feel bad if I don't finish them, but at the same time, I don't want to be beholden. I don't want people... I don't want to feel like tied to these endless series, and I start losing interest. Like the Shadow Empire game I'm playing at the moment, I've not lost interest in. I'm just having a break from strategy games for a bit. So yeah, got back into the programming. So I've been playing some like CRPGs and stuff, and I said I'd show you Scald, so let's put that on. This game's really good, man. It's got some issues, but it is really good. Let me just jump in and change the game capture mode. But this is kind of like a cool retro themed CRPG. It's kind of it's kind of like that EGA era of DOS games, or some people say it's Commodore 64, but the Commodore 64 never had graphics this good, man. So it doesn't look like Commodore 64 to me. It's got that same kind of... It's got a similar color palette to the Commodore 64 actually, but maybe he's using the same color palette. But anyway, this is a really cool game. Zoltan Vargo, hello people, hello. And Gary Oak says, we sad people which only have time for playing on the weekends. Yeah, right. Well, but people are doing stuff, right? I'm quite lucky in the sense that I work at home. I work from home. So I don't have to travel or any of that stuff to work, which is really good. That means that I've got an extra 2 hours on most people who have to do a commute. Zoltan Vargo saying, in Shadow Empire, I usually get to episode 25. Yeah, all right. So, I mean, if you make it 25 episodes in, that's really good. Like, you're doing well there. Most people, they're done after 2 or 3 episodes. And then after that, the other drop-off point's about 6 or 7. Yeah, so this is like an old school RPG, CRPG. It's really cool. Check out the CRT mode in it. It's a modern tactical RPG made in the style of an old game, basically. But as you can see, it's got like the modern kind of skill and trait trees. So as you can see, as you rank up, you get these assignable points, and your characters, all the different character classes have got different abilities that they can go through. The character classes are kind of interesting because you've basically got a cleric, you've got a magic user, and you've got a fighter, and there's a range. And then you've got kind of like hybrid classes between those. So there's kind of a bunch of classes. The game's quite replayable. It's quite a short game, I'd say. You can probably finish it if you rush through it. You can probably finish it quite quickly. But yeah, it's got retro graphics. The tactical combat's excellent. It's quite easy. I found it really easy. So that was the only my only issue with the game, was that on normal it was just way too easy, and I finished the game without much challenge. There's a couple of areas in the game where the challenge is quite high, but there are areas where they're basically random combat events. Let me see if I can find a battle, and I'll see if I can initiate a combat. But yeah, it's another interesting thing about this game is it's got like a Lovecraftian vibe as well. So it's very much a cosmic horror story with a fantasy set in a fantasy world. So it's kind of got that whole, well, like most of Lovecraft's story seems to start off with some guy going, I'm running out of opium, and opium's the only thing that will keep me going through the nights, and my meager money supplies are dwindling. So after I finish writing this entry in my diary, I will throw myself out of my window. It's kind of one of those games, right? And it's great in that respect. So here you go. Like, you've got this map that you unveil. It's currently night, so it's all really dark. Okay, you're being swarmed by monstrously overgrown rats. Now, the random battles only happen on the map. You can turn them off as well if you don't like them. I've actually got the game on hard, so there's a fair chance I'm going to die here. And it's been a few weeks since I've played it, but here we go. So here's the combat at night. Let's put these guys. Actually, most of my heroes haven't got any hit. I've noticed I've not got any magic points, so it's going to be interesting. So this is my character. This one here, she's kind of like she's a combat mage. I think it's Battle Magos. Zoltan's saying, I like how the frame of the game is bent probably to simulate CRT monitors. Yeah, that's an option that I've added. Like, if you're going to have this kind of retro gaming aspect, you want to go full in, right? The other thing is that this CRT mode, it softens the edges on the... It makes it a little bit more soft so it looks better. CB saying, catch you later, man. Got to go do breakfast with the fam. Hey, thanks for popping in. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time. So yeah, let's have a look at the tactical combat in this. So what are we facing? We're facing a bunch of dire rats. Now, and there's giant rats as well. So that's a level 2 vermin. Giant rats level 1. Yeah, they're mostly dire rats. They're mostly the level 2 ones with some variation. So yeah, let's put these guys here. I think I want the cleric on the front line. I want the thief out the back, out the side. I forget if I've got any aura abilities. Oh wow, he took a big hit right at the start. She took a big hit, I should say. Okay, here's the thief. Now I forget what ability she's got. Actually, we haven't got any maneuvers with her yet. Okay, so I've not leveled anything up. I think I'm going to get her using a potion because she's going to get hit. Yeah, let's use a potion of regeneration. I'm gonna try and fight my way out of this. Okay. Now our main character, she's got a couple of abilities. Flaming Fist is like a magic attack right in front of you. Mark of Blurring means it so you don't get hit. I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to use a healing. Yeah, less tonic of vitality because she's taking damage. Now you have action points in this, but the way that it works is a little bit more complicated than just having 2 actions or having like a set of action points. You have a number of action points which determines how far you can move, but certain actions will take more than 1 action basically. Okay, we've got the cleric here. Yeah, I'm going to keep her there. Get her with the regeneration as well. And I'm going to get her defending. We don't want to get surrounded. Okay. Now this guy, he's a fighter. He's an arms master, which is kind of like your standard fighter class. Let's just attack. Oh, he missed. Okay, now he gets 2 attacks because of an ability he's got. Okay, this one. So hit points is cool in this game, right? Once you've used up all your, like, once you've been damaged to the point of losing your hit points, you then start. You have what's called vitality, and vitality then once that's gone down, then you just start getting wounded. Now vitality can be completely healed with hit points, but wounds, you'll pick up wounds, and then they give you really crippling abilities like negative debuffs, and they're not easy to heal. Okay, let's have the thief. Okay, there we go. So she actually killed that rat. Okay, my main character, I think I'm going to have him doing... yeah, she's just going to attack. Oh, got a critical hit again. So that's good. Okay, the cleric's going to attack here on this side. Okay, again, got a critical hit. Well, I'm doing quite well. Now, this one actually failed a morale check here, so it's got panicked. So that one's going to run away now. Oh, he missed again. Come on. Okay, so I've got to figure out why he's missing a lot. Okay, most of these rats are panicking. Okay, we've actually got the disease trait now from these rats. Yeah, I'm just going to attack. Okay, she missed. No, the reason why they're missing is because they're diseased. That gives them a debuff. Now, if you've got characters on either side, you kind of flank them and you get a bonus to attack. Okay, so there we go. Okay, these guys are all running now, or mostly running. Okay, they're not taking hits. Let me just remind myself of what abilities she's got again. Oh, she's only got hide in combat. That's interesting. Why can't she use it then? Might have been an update to this game that's changed things. Okay, there we go. So people were complaining on the forums that the Battle Mage was like just too weak, and I just think people just don't know how to play the game. I think Battle Mage is really strong. It's quite weak at the start of the game when you've only got some very basic magic, but it scales quite hard. It's quite a strong class, I think. So yeah, as you can see, it's got really modern tactical combat, but it's wrapped up in a very I mean, it looks like a gold box game almost. And that was a game from like those games were like 1988, or might have even been earlier than that. When was Pool of Radiance? I want to say 1988. There we go. Okay, so the thief got a backstab there. So we're actually quite ruined, and we need. Okay, we got some loot there. See if there's anything here. No. Okay, we're going to come back to the town because we're going to need to rest up. Okay, here's a refugee camp. So, and it's got, yeah, like I said, this game's got a really cool story. The amount of text in it is just about enough, I'd say. Like, I don't like games that got too much reading in. I mean, I like text adventures and I like CRPGs. I don't like interactive fiction very much, unless it's very concise and it's not pretentious fart sniffing like most interactive fiction is. But this is about right. I found Pillars of Eternity a little bit. There was a little bit too much exposition, too much tell don't show. I like show don't tell. There we go. So no news yet. Okay, I'm just gonna go and heal these guys up. I might just save this game anyway. I just wanted to show you this. This is a game that I was working on the review for. I probably will finish this at some point, but it will be in my own time because, yeah, it's just whether I can get round to it when I'm not too busy at work. But anyway, there you go. That is Scald. Scald's a really, really cool game. I really like this. Let me just save this. Yeah, there we go. And I'm just going to come out of this one. So what else have I been playing? The other game that I was playing was a game called Realms of Antiquity, which is a really, really cool little... It's another CRPG, but it's actually written for a really old retro computer called the TI-99-4A, which is an old Texas Instruments machine from I think the 4A was like 1980 or 81, something like that. I think the original one might have been 99, so it was around the same kind of era as the Commodore VIC-20 or the Commodore 64. So very, 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 very old computer, and this guy's made this. Can I show that very quickly? I guess I can. Let's have a look at Realms of Antiquity. I might just need to share my desktop with this one. How do I do this? I might have to turn my camera off. So let's just go into here. So this is a really, really good game as well. Like, and it looks like, again, it's old. It kind of looks like shit if you're not used to these kind of old games. But it's wonderfully well made. Now, this is, believe it or not, a new game. It came out in 2020, so it's like 4 years old. Developer has been making it for like 4 years. He's still working on it. He still brings updates out when people are playing it. And so it's basically like, this is like Ultima. It looks like the original Ultima games. This is kind of like a dungeon that I cleared out earlier. So this is like a ruined abbey. But as you can see, it's really, really old looking. But again, just like Scald, it's got modern games design. So all the RPG systems in it are really good. It's got a whole bunch of character classes. You can pick whatever. You can pick from 1 to 4 characters to play the game with. And if you have less than 4, then you can actually add, some of the in-game story characters that you come across as you come across it. You get you set your attributes at the start of the game. You gain experience points. When you level up, you gain skills, and then you can use those. You can train those skills in a bunch of abilities. And yeah, there's loads of magic in the game. There's loads of different magic spells. The way that magic's done is really good in this game. I've not really seen this before, I don't think. But you have a bunch of magic manuals which take up an inventory slot, and you've only got limited inventory space, and you can't store items, so you've got to be careful like what you pick. And each magic book gives you access to a bunch of spells. Some of them will be useful in combat, and some will be useful outside of combat. So you have to, you're kind of limited to the amount of spells you can cast. This game's really, really good, man. Like, let me just have a look around in here. Look, I'm not sure if there's any exposition in this game, in this part. Oh, there we are. Like, so this is how, like, the story's told in the, through in very concise form, through conversations with people, and then reading books that you find around, basically. So, and it's really, really, really well done. The other thing that's amazing about this game is for such an old game with very limited graphics set on such an old computer, the world building is incredible. It's an open world game, so pretty much from the start of the game you can kind of go anywhere on the map, mostly, and the game map changes, like kind of the biome changes. So like you'll see here, we're kind of in a mountain pass, and if you travel a certain way, you'll end up in one of the other, like in another biome quite quickly. And there's all these different kind of, like, everything just looks different. There's loads of like the graphics look like I said, they look really, really basic, but there's so much detail in the game. Like, you'll go through towns, and each town will look completely different. It'll have like its own tile set, and there's just like little things. Like, one of the towns has got an adventurers guild with an archery range in the back, and he's like drawn all the little targets and stuff, and it's just really, really nice. It's just one developer who's made this game. This is the sort of game design I love. Look at this. Look how great this city looks from the outside. Then you go inside, you got all the walls, all the different all the different houses, all these people you can talk to. Yeah, like, we can go in here, and there's all these paladins. Like, it's just got a cool story as well. Like, this game is great, and I would rather play something like this that was handmade by someone as a passion project. Like, for those of you who know anything about computers or computer programming, this game was written in assembly language, which is no mean feat. I've been learning a bit of assembly language recently for a different computer, and it's like, to get basic stuff done, like to write a Hello World program, it's a significant challenge if you've never done assembly language before. So and you're basically programming directly into the hardware. So you're programming memory, and you're often having to program the chipset to do graphics instructions, so you have to know the chipset that you're working with. It's really, really interesting stuff. I think for most people it's kind of like a little bit too laborious, but I like it. I've been doing a little bit of programming in assembly language, and it's really, really fun. But this is a big game, and I think it comes on, I think if you were to play this on the original system, this is obviously emulated because it's on Steam, right? But if you were to play the game on the original system, and it will work on it with some upgrades, I think it comes on like 5 discs because it's quite a big game. It's by far going to be probably the most complex game that was made for the TI-99, I would say. The tactical combat in this game is good. Let's see if we can find some tactical combat. I'm probably going to get beaten because this is, if I remember right, this is quite a tough area. Where would we find? Oh, there we are. Here we go. We're going into a tundra here. So as you can see, look, it's all got different biomes. I think there'll be some creatures up here in this place. There we go. Look. Oh, this is a camp. Okay. You found what appears to be the remnants of a camp, hastily abandoned. You see a journal on a crate. Investigate. It is a journal of an apprentice Targian of the Azure Tower. The last entry is the most interesting. So damn cold here. The paladins don't complain though. I think what I'm looking for is east, but the bulk of them want to head north to the ruins. I got a couple who agreed to accompany me. Wait, what's that? A dragon is coming. The last word's ink is smeared across the page. So, yeah, it's an open world game. You can kind of approach it in whatever kind of direction that you want. But I think there's a kind of like obvious way of doing it. Here's some enemies. By the way, since we're gonna fight, I'm just gonna cast some spells just before we get into combat. It's got a really, really good control system as well. It's all done with a keyboard, and let's just cast blur on both characters. Okay, we've got time to cast one more spell by the looks of it. So let's cast Let's cast protection on Ket Blackclaw. There we are. Okay, so we've been caught by these enemies. They're polar bears. Now my character is like a tank character. He's a crusader who's kind of like a mix between a warrior and a mage. Okay. Okay, and she is like a thief who does very high damage and has a lot of action points, but doesn't take much damage. But it looks like we're the blur spell did well. Let's just get. Okay, there we go. She managed to kill. There, I'm gonna hide her so she can just disappear because she's a thief. This game's amazing, right? All of the character classes are all quite interesting. They've got cool abilities, and the developer went to great pains. He said that he didn't like how in Ultima and some of the other games that he played from that era, the combat's kind of crap, right? Magic's really strong, warriors and thieves and stuff are just really bad. So he's actually gone to great pains to make like the thieves and the warriors and the melee class is just really damaging and dangerous. And as like my thief is my main damage dealer. This hero here, this guy, he's a tank who casts spells, but for the most part she just sneaks up on these creatures from the side and does like critical hits and damage. There we go. It's got like really old sound chip on it, all emulated of course. Well, anyway, there you go. I just thought I'd show that off to you. I'm going to save this and come out of the game. But yeah, let's just come out of that. So that is another really cool game that I've been playing. I really wanted to look at that was one of the things that kind of got me back into my retro gaming stuff, and I've been looking at some other things as well. I'm not going to talk about that too much now because I've got a new project on, and I think if I talk about my projects too much, I end up not finishing them. But there we go. So that's another thing that's kind of been distracting me. I really got into Realms of Antiquity. I think it's a really superb game. It's one of the best games I've played in ages. I was looking at it and I thought, wow, that is really retro. Like that is really, maybe it's a little bit too old for me, even for me. And I played about half an hour of it and I was hooked. I was like, hang on a minute, this game's great. Like, and I don't stick with CRPGs. I actually did finish. I finished Scald. I'm about to finish it twice. I think for my review, I'd like to finish it 3 times. So I played it through on normal, found it way too easy. I'm good at tactics games, I'd say. But then I played it through a second time, and it's a bit more difficult on hard once you get going with it. But yeah, so I've been playing CRPGs a little bit because I got a bit fed up of I've got a bit fed up of kind of like endless strategy games for a little while. So I've kind of burned out on strategy games a little bit. I'm playing Kingdom Dungeon and Hero. Oh, there's an update. I've been playing Kingdom Dungeon and Hero because this game is coming out and I really wanted to promote it a little bit for the developer. And I've been playing loads of Galciv as well. Let's have a look at Galciv actually while I'm here. Let's just jump over to Galactic Civilizations. Had an update and a DLC released. Just wait for this to come up. Oh, okay, that was the launcher. Oh. Yeah, just Galth's just having a think about it. How's everyone doing, by the way? How long have I been streaming for now? Just bear with me, folks. Oh, an hour and 15. Okay. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, I don't know if Daz Tactics is streaming tonight, but I think he probably is. And if he is, I'm going to jump off when Daz jumps on because I don't want to be kind of competing with Daz. And actually, I like to go and hang out on Chat Tactic. So what I'm going to do is, if Daz is doing that tonight, I'm going to jump off in about 50 minutes. And I'm going to send you guys over to Daz to come with me over to Chat Tactic and see how Daz is doing because I ain't talked to Daz for a while. Okay, Galactic Civilizations 4. Now it's still saying Warlords. That's because this was like a major expansion. We don't change the title screen for the little updates, but let me show you. For those of you who don't know what Zoltan's saying, Daz is great. Yeah, Daz is cool, man. He's a buddy of mine. I really like Daz Tactic. He's a top bloke, as they'd say over in Australia. Okay, so the Species pack is the one that's just come out, and I like this is a really cool pack. I think it's going to be one of those things where if you're the sort of person who likes making your own civilizations and content, it's going to be a really cool one. Because what this one adds, it's changed the species stuff around. So the free update gave you this new UI. And the new UI basically makes it so that all of the different species in the game, which is where you draw your pool of citizens from, they're much better kind of... You can actually see what all their traits are now. And you can go in... oh, looks like they've added a... Oh, hang on a minute. Sorry, guys. Let me just make sure... Yeah, sorry, folks. I can't show this. This is MVP. My apologies. Let me just change the version over just to one that's not going to get me in trouble. Bum, bum, bum. I did look at that and I was like, oh. Yeah, so yeah, I've got multiple versions of Galactic Civilizations 4, and including a MVP version, which is NDA, so I'm not allowed to show that. But I'll just boot the game back up and I'll show you it. I'll show you what's released to the public now, and then you can see that. I don't think there's anything really changed in it, so I won't have broken any NDAs there, I don't think. But I'm glad I caught it before I did. So the species pack enables you to create your own species, basically, and it adds something like 6 new species to the game. But also, if you're not the sort of person who likes creating your own species, basically people can just add them to the workshop. So you can create your own species now, generate them. Let's just make an alien GPT thing, and I'll show you how this works. So, oh, I do that every single time. So let's just go to... this is some feedback I want to give to the developers. I hit the start game, or custom civ button, and I immediately hit generate. I think there needs to be a little bit of a delay, or move the button or something. Let's just generate an alien GPT civ. So, what could we have? Could make a generic cat girl group. I mean, cat girls who are... Okay, so I'm going to show you one of the issues that the alien GPT used to have that has been fixed now. So, cybernetic, let's say cybernetic cat girls who love riding on giant dogs. So basically, I'm trying to confuse it a little bit. Giant dogs, and have, let's say, sentient plants as cute as kawaii pets. Okay, just some crap like that. And so we hit generate. Alien GPT is going to do its thing. And like before, if you did something like this, it would not know what to do. Okay, it would kind of be like, oh, I'll just pick something. So here we go. The perfect companions in conquest. Yeah, okay, feline cybernetic collective. Okay, so one of the things that the update's done, the free update, is it's made it so that Alien GPT now is way better. Let me just turn this volume down. It's way better at figuring out what it is that you want. So let's just get generic cat girl in there, and you see that it's picked the species feline fatales. So it was able to infer from, even though I put cybernetic cat girls in and dogs and sentient plants and all this kind of crap, it's kind of better at figuring things out now. The other cool thing is that you can go into the species, and so let's say that you did want cybernetics instead of cat girls, right? Then you can go, where are we, cyborgs. So you can switch them out. The other thing that you can do is, if you've got the species pack, that DLC, you can actually create a new species here, and you can give it a name. So cybernetic cat girls, and then you could make them cybernetic. So you can actually have robot cat girls if you wanted. Now this is a phenotype. They've added this new thing in where each species has a phenotype, and phenotypes give them certain abilities and benefits. Now, for the most part, they're still relatively generic, and they don't have massive species trait bonuses. If you own, so let me just go back and show you what I mean. So for example, the cyborgs here, look, they have a little bit of a modifier to the growth rate. And they've got some, they don't care about pollution very much, and they consume less food. However, most of them are not going to have a huge amount of, different species differences, because the idea is it's still supposed to be kind of a sandbox game. So your idea of, if my space chickens, I might want them to be really, really powerful in combat, whereas other people might think space chickens are stupid. So, you don't want to have really, really drastic modifiers in them. So if you've not got the species pack, they've made it so that the species are... There's a little bit of variation in what they do, but they're not game-breakingly so. Obviously, things like the Altarians and the Archaeans and that, these are coercive species, and they're much more varied in the way that they work. Because these guys, like the lizards, and where's some of the other ones? So sentient plants, for example, these ones, they want to be a little bit more generic so that people can play them the way they want to play them. However, now if you've got the species pack, you can kind of just go in and yeah, let's just go back to what I was doing. So cyborg, cat girls, and just put some name in here. You add a bunch of names, so cat girl 1 and cat girl whatever. Yeah, you can save in a bunch of names, and then you add the portraits. This takes a second to populate, but so you can put in your own portraits, or you can just use the ones that come with the game, or you can you download something off the workshop. I made this one here, look. So these ones were I use Stable Diffusion. So as a hobby, I like to do AI generated art because I'm an artist. So I went into Stable Diffusion, played around with this, got a cool model, and I didn't even have to use ControlNet. I just banged out these. I've got a good graphics card. It took me about 30 seconds to produce these portraits, or a minute or so, and then I went into Photoshop and just edited the portraits. So you can, if you've got a graphics card, or you know how to use Midjourney or something, you can just really easily make some really cool portraits, and then just jump into Photoshop, remove the background. What do we got here? Let's just, I'm not going to do this properly, but let's say these were cat girls, right? So we just add in a bunch of portraits. These are ones that already come with the game. So you just click on done, and then you add a bunch for the various in-game advisors. So you just add a bunch of these guys in, and then once you've filled this out, set all their phenotypes, given them some abilities, species traits, and decided whether they're good in pollution, whether they consume food, that kind of stuff. Then you can just upload it. You can upload it to the workshop for people, or you can save it for yourself. And there you go. So you can create your own species, and you can. This is really cool because you can make whatever you want now. And so yeah, it is a really, really cool DLC. I think if you like the species stuff, if you want to really customize your, by the way, you can click on get more. It's not going to work for me because I've got all that stuff disabled in Steam. I've got the Steam overlay disabled, so that means that won't work. But yeah, so there you go. That's what's been added to Galciv. There's been some minor UI stuff that's gone into this update as well. It's been actually quite nice. But yeah, here's some I made earlier. They added so one of the species that they added in the new one is like these fungus, these mushrooms. We got these star nautiloids as well, and there's a new type of frog. We've got 2 types of frogs in there now. So yeah, there we go. There's Galciv. So Galactic Civilizations is coming along nicely. That game, whenever I play this on stream, like I often play it on Steam whenever there's an update for Stardock. And whenever I play it, I don't want to stop. Like I always come off like going, I really want to carry on playing, but I can't because I got to go back to work. There's always some kind of like office job stuff that I got to do. So yeah. But Galciv is still currently my favorite Space 4X. I think it's up there with Remnants of the Precursors, because it's just so easily playable. Like I can load up a game of Galciv and I'm in it like pretty much till the end of it straight away. One of the problems with Galciv though is because Stardock updates it really fast, so their update cycle's rapid, and so it's kind of difficult for me to finish a series because unless I just play nothing but Galciv, and I'm really not that kind of person. Like my attention span moves between things, which is why it takes me a long time to finish like a long episode of Shadow. It's a long series of Shadow Empire or Dominions or something, because I find it hard just to play one game over and over and over. I really need to vary things or I get bored. So yeah, so Galciv, I end up kind of like you always doing about 10 episodes or so, and then kind of the updates come and break it. They don't actually break the game saves, but they're usually adding so many features that I don't really want to go back to the old version. So that's been a bit of a problem. So Gary Oak saying next update DLC is megastructures. Yeah, I think so. If that's what it says on Steam, then yeah. Let's have a look at that actually. So let's just go into. So we're going to disappear Battle Mode's little head. Oh, there we are. Here I am. Okay, so I'm going to be facing the wrong way. See if I can move that. Oh, I can't do that while it's running. Okay, never mind. So yeah, let's have a look at what's. Yeah, so this was the. Oh yeah, it is megastructures next. So okay. So yeah, that's what's going to be coming next. I don't know anything about it, by the way, and if I did, I wouldn't be allowed to talk about it. I don't know if Brad Wardell, Frogboy, has actually said anything. But if you're interested to know anything about any of the DLC stuff, if you go to the Galactic Civilizations Discord, then Brad is often just talking about stuff that is the rest of the company can't talk about because we're all NDA'd, but Brad can do what he wants because he's the boss. So every now and again he'll just be like, "Oh, here's what we're doing. Here's some screenshots. Cypherpunk, how's it going? Been a while since I've seen Galciv. Seen a lot of changes." So okay, so Cypherpunk was a member of the dev team for Galciv. How's it going, dude? You're right. Gary Oak, nice. Bought the season pass and just wanted to wait for this one to jump in. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Galciv's doing well. I think it's just constantly being developed basically, and so that's one of the issues that makes it difficult for me to kind of like stick at series with it, because I play about 6, 7 episodes, and then I end up having to kind of jump off, do something else, and then when I come back to it, the version's changed. So yeah, how's it going anyway, Chris? You all right? So yeah, what else have I been doing? So yeah, I'm basically just, for those of you who joined, I'm kind of talking about the reason why my channel's I've not been putting out many videos. The TLDR is that I've needed a little bit of a break from gaming. Work's been quite busy. I've had a lot to do with work, and yeah. So, and then I've got back into my programming, so I've been doing loads of programming behind the scenes. I downloaded an emulator for this computer that I'm interested in. It's kind of like a retro computer. So I've been learning how to program that in machine code and in assembly language. So yeah, I've been getting back into my programming. I'm going to make a game at some point. So at the moment, I'm just messing around with some ideas for a game. For those of you who don't know, you know that I do videos and podcasts and stuff, but I'm also a programmer. I went to uni and did a computer science related degree at a good computer science uni. So I've got a good background in programming, and but I don't know assembly language very well. So I've been muddling my way through that. So learning assembly language has been quite a challenge. I think it's probably the best way to say it. It's really not that intuitive if you come from procedural programming. Even like I've done functional programming. Like my uni was sadistic, and the first programming language they thought that it was best to teach their students was Haskell. So like I've done a bit of everything. I've done all the OOP crap, and I don't like object oriented programming very much, so I don't really use Java or anything anymore. I like programming in C because I really like C, even though it's kind of difficult to use. You've got to program it really carefully in order to not create loads of bugs and undefined behavior. But I like C. It's really powerful. And then, but with this computer, it uses the old MOS, a variant of the MOS 6502 chipset, which was used on loads of old computers like the Commodore 64 series. Cypherpunk saying, "Doing good, man. I've been programming too. Really cool to hear that you're working on something." Yeah, I'm just a hobbyist. I'm not promising that I'm going to be making anything that you guys are going to be able to play. Although that would be nice eventually. I'm learning assembly language for the Commander X16 computer, which is it's aiming to be a kind of successor to the Commodore 64. It's weird because it uses an 8-bit chip, an 8-bit microprocessor, but it's got quite a lot of it's got a modern kind of graphics interface. So the performance on it, I'd say, is somewhere between a Commodore 64 and an Amiga 1200 or something, I reckon. It can do graphics like a Sega Mega Drive. It's really fast. It's an 8 megahertz processor, even though it's only 8-bit. But you've only got 8-bit. Its word size is 16-bit, if that means anything to anybody. So you are transferring memory between the process, between the you know, like the accumulator and the registers in the microprocessor and the RAM in 8-bit blocks at a time, but it's 16-bit word size, so it's kind of weird. It's like a weird computer, but it's got some surprise. In fact, fuck it, I might show you guys actually. Let me see if I can show you something. Yeah, let me show you. I'll see what I've got on here. There we go. So this is the Commander X16. This is an emulated version. I've actually I've ordered a proper computer. It costs a lot of money to get it imported from America. But this is, I'm blaming Brad Wardell for this, because Brad was like, "Hey, BattleMode, have you seen this cool new computer? It's like a new computer that's been made with retro components." And I was like, "Holy fuck, that's cool." And so yeah, I'm blaming Brad, because Brad was like, "You should take a look. I know you like retro gaming, and you know, if you want to get into assembly program." So let's just have a look at what we got in here. This uses the old Commodore 64 stuff. What is it going to be? CD. Let's have a look at some games though that are in there. DOS. DNG, CD DNG, I think is. I could have done that in one command, couldn't I? There we go. I didn't have a Commodore 64, so I had a ZX Spectrum around those kind of time. DNG, and then an Atari ST later on. PRG. Okay, this is a Gauntlet clone that is made in. So this kind of gives you an idea of what the graphics are like and the sound. It's got an amazing sound chip. It's got a Yamaha FM synth sound chip. It's a Yamaha YM2151, I think, or 2164. So it's got FM synthesis, which is used in the Sega Mega Drive. A load of FM synthesizers like the famous Yamaha DX series. It's also got a what do you call it? It's got a kind of modern chip that they use for the graphics and the other sound programming. So its sound can also be very reminiscent of the Commodore SID chip, although it doesn't have ring modulation. So that's one downside to it, unfortunately. Yeah, let me show you this game anyway. Oh, what am I doing wrong here? Unless I've crashed it. Oh no, there we go. I'm just being dumb. So let's. I'll pick the Ranger, because the Ranger's quite a good character. Okay, so you guys have seen Gauntlet, right? Hopefully you're as old as I am, and you know what Gauntlet is. So this is actually new software. This is made by a indie developer, and Gauntlet's a classic game. This is basically a Gauntlet clone, but it's quite a good Gauntlet clone. It's quite a difficult game for those of you who haven't played it, but this shows you the graphics capabilities. Now it can do graphics way better than this, but this is the kind of thing that this game is really suited at, like 8-bit graphics. Now because it's got SD card, it reads from an SD card really quickly, and the Commander X16 has, I think it's got 500 kilobytes of RAM as standard, and it can be the developer edition that I've got. You can update it up to 2. I think you can upgrade it to 2 megabytes. So it's actually got quite a lot of RAM, and so it's way more powerful than Commodore 64, like by orders of magnitude. In fact, it's more powerful than an Atari or an Amiga of the time. It's got a better sound chip than any of them. It's got really, I mean, you can do, this is like a chip tune orchestra. It's got, I think it's 16 channels. I think it's 16 PCM channels. So that's like, or PSG, sorry, channels. It's also got the ability for sampling, as you can hear, because it's got like a voice. You've got some low resolution sample voices, and it's got six channels of FM synthesis as well. FM, 6 FM channels. So this will do all of your old DOS era, EGA and VGA game music. It will also do a passable, well, it's a little bit like a SID. It doesn't have ring mod though, and that kind of ruins it a little bit. So don't get, if you're like a SID tune, a SID chip tune enthusiast like I am, don't get too excited by it, because the lack of ring mod actually really is a big problem. but it's not bad, and it sounds better than any other game on the market. Cypherpunk saying, dude, I remember playing Gauntlet in the arcades. Yeah, so do I, man. I'm also old. For the children here, arcades were the first implementation of microtransactions in games. Yeah, right. So that's dead right. Chris is dead right here. So you'll see that my hit points are going down, right? In this game, your hit points constantly go down, and you've got to find food. So you have to kind of play quite quickly, look. So it stops you from kind of like kiting your enemies too much. And yeah, to get anywhere in Gauntlet, you had to pump quarters in. And but you know, and this version doesn't give you credits. So you really are having it's unlike Gauntlet. It's not just a matter of just being able to pump credits in and oh, this guy's invincible unless you got magic, which I have, so let's kill him. But yeah, like this was the first microtransactions game, and like yeah, because you had to keep putting money in order to be able to get very far in it. A bit of a scam. Like part of the reason, by the way, that old arcade games were difficult was because they wanted you to keep putting money into the machines. So that's where old school difficulty comes from. It wasn't that they really, you know, it wasn't that like we were just harder, and you know, we come from an age when the good old days when men were real men, women were real women. All we had to eat was wood and rocks, you know. You were lucky if a computer was 8-bit, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it wasn't that it wasn't just those days. It was because they deliberately made games really hard because they wanted you to pump more money into them. But I like an old school game difficulty. I think it breeds a certain kind of gamer. It's not for the faint of heart. But this is a really nice kind of clone. I'm gonna actually, what I'll do is, how long have I got? I'll go about half an hour. I'm going to play this for another few minutes, and then I'll show you some of the other stuff that's been made. This is a really nice little demo, though, for what this computer can do. I think that eventually the people who are making this computer, they're going to be selling a kind of games console version that's going to be quite cheap. The developer edition that I've got, it uses all original chips. So it's got like it's got a 65CO2 microprocessor and a whole bunch of other stuff in there that are original chips, and they're sourced from a supplier who still makes them in the United States, who were part of the people who made the original 6502 processors that you will find in, you know, I think it was Nintendo Entertainment System and Commodore it would be the VIC-20, I think it was the 6502. Maybe the Commodore PET as well. And then 6510, which was a variant that came out for the Commodore 64. And then later on, the Commodore 128 had a 16-bit, kind of 16-bit version, which will also fit in this computer too. Let's kill that guy. And yeah, so this is this, but this is just one, like this is a nice implementation of Gauntlet. It's really smooth. It kind of shows you the capabilities of the machine and kind of the sort of stuff that it's going to be aimed at. So it's a real like retro gaming hardware. You can all, by the way, if you want to try this, you can download the emulator for free, and all the games are going to be for free as well. So if you just Google Commodore X16 and you'll be able to check this machine out. And if you're into retro gaming, this is a really cool project, because it's not just a carbon copy of, you know, the Commodore 64 or, you know, like an Amiga or something. It is its own beast. It's got its own quirks for programming. It's got its own capabilities and limitations if you're a programmer. So this is really cool. So I want to make some games for this. I want to be developing some games for this. One of the nice things as well, and Akude. Oh, hey, Battle Mode, it's me, Thalaxia from Discord. Hey, man, how's it going? So Thalaxia is a developer, and he's making a game called Starzeal. I think it's Starzeal. And well, we were talking about the games development earlier on at the Explorminate Discord, and this is kind of an example of what I was talking about, right? One of the things that's nice, I think, about if you're a developer, about making a game for an already obsolete set of hardware is that you're not really beholden to Steam reviews. So like if I make a game, right, I release it, you know, for free for people just to play who own this kind of rare computer that's only just been made. There's not that many out there in the wild. There's only a couple of thousand, I think. But you know, anybody can play it on their computer with their emulator. I'm not really beholden to Steam reviews, so I don't have to make games in the way that you have to make games for Steam, if you know what I mean. Because otherwise, if you don't make them in a certain way, you know, like if I made I'm not going to do it, but let's say I made a 4X game, I wouldn't be able to make a 4X game without having all the 4X stuff in. And if I decided that my game design might be better by omitting something like diplomacy or multiple victory conditions or whatever, I'm going to get downvoted to hell in Steam, right? Whereas if I make a game in this, you know, or let's say I made a game for the Commodore 64 or something, it's already obsolete. Not that many people are going to play it. It's only really going to be enthusiasts. So you're already kind of limiting yourself in that way, and it's an interesting way to limit yourself, man. So yeah, I think it's a really, I don't know, just kind of an interesting way to go about games development, where you're obviously not doing it for the money. You're doing it just because you want to make something cool. Thalax, you're saying, oh, I didn't know you were a dev too. Well, I'm not. I'm a programmer. So I did a computer science related degree. I did AI initially, and then I moved on a degree, but it was a computer science degree at a computer science uni. I went to the University of Edinburgh, and they're very, very much a maths and computer science university, and it's really hard to get into. I was very lucky to get in, and I didn't complete my degree because I spent all my time at Explorminate talking about video games, and I wasn't really not cut out for academia, it turned out. So I did not enjoy the process of being at university, but I am quite a good programmer, if I do say so myself, I think. Now I haven't really made much with programming, but so this week's, or the last couple of weeks, when I've not been working, the stuff that I've been doing is I've been doing a whole lot of research on this computer, and figuring out if it's for me, and then I decided it was, so I bought one, and I've been learning assembly language, and I've been learning how to program the 650T series of processors, and just kind of getting my head around retro game design, and yeah, that's what I've been doing. Ismilzapog says, hello, and hello, sir. And it also says, what is this computer? I missed the beginning of the conversation. This is the Commander X16. It's an emulated version that I'm just playing on, but they do sell real computers as well with real hardware. And they're not like... It's not like a Mister, if you know what that is, where it's just kind of a bunch of fancy high-tech chips that are programmable to emulate hardware. It's actually got real hardware in it, so it uses a real 65CO2 microprocessor that was sourced from the real the real developer, or the real the chipset designers. There are some. The graphics processor is a modern processor that is programmable, but for the most part, it's all hardware. So it's a really, really interesting project. There's a famous YouTube channel called The 8-Bit Guy who made it, basically. So I don't know if you've heard of The 8-Bit Guy, but he's done a whole bunch of videos on it. Cypherpunk says, if you develop games, you're a dev. No two ways about it. Well, I mean, technically, I'm a dev because I work for a games developer now, my day job. But I haven't really made any games that aren't anything more than proof of concept and mostly text-based stuff. But yeah, I've got an idea. I've had an idea. I've been working on the concept for a game. Ismilzapog says it is a new old computer. Yes, exactly. The first versions of this computer rolled off the assembly line about a year ago, but it uses all old hardware. Just to reiterate, it's basically an 8-bit processor that it's got like a 16-bit word size, so you can use it for 16-bit stuff, but it's it's limited because of the 16-bit 16-bit instruction handling. So you've got to get creative with the way that you use it. So it's a programmer's dream. If you like retro stuff, it's a programmer's dream because you're having to kind of work around the limitations of the old hardware, but it's also really powerful. You can get really good graphics on it, and you can get some really good sound. And by really good, I mean there's a passable demonstration of Sonic the Hedgehog on it, although it's not a full game. Let me show you some of the stuff that it does. Let me come out this now. Let's jump back into the emulator. And let me just have a look at some of the demos that are on here. But yeah, so what have I done? Well, not a lot at the moment. I'm only just getting into it. Game-wise, before, I've done a lot of text-based stuff and kind of like text adventure kind of things, and simulate, kind of RPG stuff that are with text interfaces. Hey, Doc Larry Sportello. Hello, sir. Says, hello. Hey, late to the stream, but have you spoken about any of the type of content you wanted to explore? At some point on YouTube, you commented on wanting to do something with trackers or synth music. Yeah, I'm a music producer, so that's the other thing that I do in my hobby, in my spare time. I don't know if I can... Is it wise to do this? Yeah, I suppose it is. Let me just show you... I don't know if I'll be able to show you this, but... There you go. Look, I have a music studio. There's some of my music hardware. So I'm basically using a camera on a tripod, which doesn't work very well as a selfie stick, and there's a whole bunch of green screen in the way. But yeah, I've got a music studio. So I use hardware mostly, but I'm really interested in chiptune, and I do stuff with trackers as well. So I've been playing with trackers. Let's have a look at what we got. Let's just see what's in this thing. Oops, no, it's DOS. There we go. Let's just have a look at those are some of the other games that are in here. CD games. Let me just remind myself what's in here again. Okay, so yeah, so the 8-bit guy made this game called X. Yeah, so I think it's called X Robots. Let me think which one is it. Yeah, Planet X16. Okay, so this will show you what this can do. So Commodore 64 could never do this. Planet X16. This is an RTS game made on an 8-bit computer. Oh, hang on, that's not right. CD Planet. Let's just do star. There we are. And load. Planet X16 PRG. Ah, hold on. Let's have a look. I don't remember what the file structure is on this one. Oh, it's just, yeah, it is Planet X16. Okay, I'm just being dense. So load PRG. What am I doing wrong here? It should work. Planet XCG. Let's make sure I'm typing that in right. Oh, how unusual. Okay, there we go. And then we just click on run. Sorry about that. Right, so this game... Okay, so here you go. This is an example of the FM synthesis. Maybe it needs the absolute path. Yeah, it might have done. So let's make sure we're capturing the mouse here properly. Roll M. There we are. All right. So this is a full-on RTS game like Dune 2, but made on an 8-bit machine. So check this stuff out, man. So this is a game where this is like Dune 2. It's not the same though. It's not like it's actually completely different to Dune. Now, what do I want to build? I think I want power station. Forget which one that one is. Yeah, we need one of these as well. So let's go and build one of these. Okay, there we go. So this guy is meanwhile going to build one of them. So yeah, this is the smelter, and this is that's another smelter. Did I just build two of the same thing? All right, I didn't want to do that. Oh well, never mind. You get the idea. So, but here, look, you have to you don't have to manually manage everything, but there is some manual resource management, which is kind of really curious. So you have to pick up these items and bring them over, and you've got about 10 minutes before the AI comes in and starts killing you, in order to build stuff up. Okay, I think I wanted. Yeah, I built 2 smelters. That's not what I wanted. I want this one. Okay, insufficient minerals. So yeah, we need to start getting some more minerals in. Also we've got this one here, and then we can build a military building too. You can build these soldiers here, look, as well. So you can build like a ground unit. Doc Larry Sportello, is this the 8-bit guy's X10 machine or something? Yes, it's a Commander X16. So, and this is his game as well. He's made a fully working RTS game. Now, so this is showing you like this 8-bit machine can actually do some pretty impressive stuff. This is a game that he was making on other platforms, and he's kind of ported it over. Oh, what's that one again? This might be the power station. There we go. So we need a power station. Now you've got these are the monsters. These are the bad guys in the game. Where are we? Down here. So these things are kind of doing their own thing. They build up their base. They'll come and attack you after about 10 minutes. As you can hear, it's got like a proper 80s retro tech sort of soundtrack as well. And this is the power of FM synthesis. It's also got some SID-like stuff in there too. Okay. So there we go. There's our power station. Oh no, there's our power station. It's almost built. And then we want to build some of these around it. So we need to get some vanes on it. Oh, build next to the power station. There we are. Had to wait till it was ready. Okay, now we need gas. So we've got to put one of these things on one of here. So there we go. Okay, and we can get some of these. Oh, we need more energy first. So anyway, here's our units. Now it's got some very rudimentary pathfinding. One of the things that this computer will struggle with is like advanced pathfinding algorithms like A star. So it's not going to do it very easily because there's a whole lot of processing. For a start, in order for this machine to... I can turn the music off because it's really loud. In fact, I'm going to... Rather than show the game off anymore, I'm just going to talk about it. So, while I show you some of the other stuff. Yeah, there we go. So anyway, you get the idea. That's what was going on. So, geez, can you even imagine writing pathfinding in assembly? 8-bit guy blows my mind. Yeah, he's pretty clever. So, we'll just come out of this. Oh. Control M will be keyboard capture. Control M to capture. Okay, there we are. Hold on, I'll just close this manually. Okay, so yeah, in order to get to do A star, you need floating point numbers, right? And floating point numbers are kind of laborious to do in 8-bit with an 8-bit processor that only handles 8-bit at a time. Even though it's got a word size of 16-bit. You're going to be you're going to be doing double the instructions, or it's even more because you've got to get the accumulator to add. You've got to assign memory, add the first 8 bits, and then you assign the next 8 bits over. So it's increasing the instruction size. Now, assembly language is really fast, so you can do like A star or something in it, but you're going to be reducing the amount of memory, working memory that you've got for the rest of the game. So you have to rely. This is what I mean. It's a really interesting platform to make games for because you've got to work around these kind of like computer science problems, basically. So if you're like me and you're a bit of a geek and you like programming, it's one of those things. It's kind of like a nice little challenge, I'd say. So yeah. Ismail the Pog says, "Is there no way to compile C to the computer?" Yes, there is a C compiler for it. So like the Commodore 64 it uses Commodore 64 style. Let's just go to back. It uses Commodore 64 style BASIC, so that's how you do Hello World, right? In BASIC. There you go. It's that simple. It's really easy to program. The problem is with BASIC, it's really, really slow, like super slow. C is a lot faster because it compiles down to assembly, to machine code. I mean, this is an interpreted language, BASIC, whereas C is it's not interpreted. It's a compiled language. So yes, you can use C. I like programming in C. The thing is with me in C is I'm not that experienced with it, and there's a lot of undefined behavior, right? So if you don't know how to program C, you need to learn how to program it really carefully in order to be any good at it. So, but the other thing you can do is program in machine language. Now, machine language is directly editing hex stuff like this. So look. This is your accumulator here in the the register accumulator. This is your 0 register. Sorry, these are the X and Y registers, which are used for incrementing values basically, and so for doing loops, iterating over stuff. Yeah, so this is basically how you do it. You can actually with this you can jump straight into memory. You can actually look at memory locations. You can actually edit memory locations as well. So look, you can jump in and list out all the memory locations, and then this is crazy stuff. So I'm just getting my head around how to program in machine language. in assembly language or machine code, because this is going to be the fastest way to do it. If you want a game that's actually going to run and it's not going to run like shit. Now, because the Commander X16 is running at 8 megahertz, Basic's actually pretty quick, and there's this thing called Blitz. So if I was to make my text-based CRPG game, yeah, let's say I made a CRPG, like let's say I made something like The Bard's Tale, or like a Blobber style, like Wizardry, like the original Wizardry game. You could do that on the Commander X16 because it's pretty damn fast compared to those old computers. So you wouldn't need to program in assembly language. But for anything more complex, you want to use assembly language. So that's what I've been learning how to do, basically. So yeah, yes, you could use C, and there's no reason why you can't do stuff in C on the Commander. But so yeah, that's what I've been looking at this week. That's the last couple of weeks. I've just been absorbing loads of content on that and just kind of getting my head around it, because it's been really good for me not to play just games constantly, because I'm doing games stuff at work and then making videos on games, and then after when I clock off, I don't want to be just playing games all the time, and I don't want to just be making videos all the time as well. So anyway, folks, wow, well, it's 10 to 6 now. I just want to have a quick. Just going to turn my screen off, guys, while I check. I want to see if Daz Tactic is doing a live stream today. Because if I'll just jump on YouTube, that's probably the best way for me to find out. I'd like to see if Daz is doing a live stream, because if he is, I'm going to jump off. Oh, maybe he moved. Did he move it to Saturday? Oh, he might have done, yeah. He did a live stream yesterday. Okay, so yeah, but I think maybe Daz is, it doesn't say that he's doing anything today. So maybe Daz is not online. But yeah, I'm going to jump off anyway, guys, because I'm starting to get a bit of a sore throat anyway. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the stream. Let me just get my desktop back so we're not staring at Battlemode's floating head. Okay, close that down. Yeah, so anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, I will catch you next time. So there will be more videos coming in. I'm going to keep going with the Shadow Empire series. Probably do a few more videos on Kingdom Dungeon and Hero before it's released on the 1st, because I think it's good to hype that game up a bit. I'm not going to do too much on that. I don't want people to get bored of it before the game comes out. So I'm going to do a few more videos, and yeah, more Shadow Empire. Try and finish Dominions, and then yeah, I'll try and finish my review of Scald, which I showed off today. And then yeah, at some point in the distant future, you will be getting some battle mode games. It won't be for a year or so, I wouldn't have thought, because the game I'm making is actually quite ambitious. It's simple, but kind of big. So yeah, that's something that I want to do. But like with all my projects, just take it with a bit of a grain of salt, because I kind of like get my enthusiasm for stuff, and then I'm a bit hit and miss with sticking at things. So I ain't going to promise anything. But I just thought I'd give you all guys a little bit of a taster of what was going on. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time. Take it easy.